It is Thursday, January 12th, and you know what that means? Another new episode of the Mad Chatter. I am Jellyfingers. I am here with my brother, J1. What's going on?
What's going on, brother?
We got a big show.
Today's a good show. Today's a good show. I've wanted to do this show. Pizza. I've wanted to do this show, and I haven't wanted to do this show because I didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want there's so many guys that talk about this shit.
Mm-hmm.
But let's do it once, see how it goes, see if people like it. This is not going to be a weekly thing. God, no. I don't want to do it. But
we need some good lead time to do research.
My big thing is I don't want to talk about the flip side of comics. I want to talk about the investment side of comics, the long-term investment, right? Not the what's going to be hot in a month, but what's going to do an annual percentage growth that's been documented and curtailed for 10 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking where you're seeing 600% of growth or more in a comic over the last 10 years. And you guys, if you guys don't know what I mean by 600% of growth, and I'm not trying to treat you like an asshole or an idiot, but that means it's actually gone up in price and doubled 6 times.
Well,
right?
It's 6 times what its original value was. Whatever we start with the original value.
Yeah.
Because if we're taking 10 cents or 12 cents as the original value, then we're going to have some stuff that's 20,000% increases. And
exactly, right? Actually, multi-million increases.
Yeah, right.
But I'm talking over the last 10 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be looking at anything past 10 years. At least that's not what I'm doing. All the research I did was over the last 10 years.
Okay.
Because I wanted to make sure that everything like it showed continuous growth, which is, I mean, when you're looking at mutual funds for investments, that's what you look at.
Mm-hmm.
Stocks, same thing. Bonds, same thing. I mean, you want to put your money into something that's going to continue to grow. So if you're going to do that and you're going to use comics, honestly, as an investment, which I do, right?
I mean, it's an asset.
Exactly. It's a tangible asset that has an intrinsic value that can be resold, right?
Mm-hmm.
And unless it's World War III, right? People are going to want them. I mean, it's not like it's a digital currency or a digital picture.
It's not quite that volatile.
Right.
Granted, over the last couple of years, we have seen some pretty outrageous prices.
That's true.
And I still think we're on a market correction for these prices. I don't believe they'll go below, for the most part, pre-pandemic, but they're going to get pretty close.
I think, but only certain books.
Only certain books, correct.
I'm going to tell you right now, the major Golden Age keys,
now,
once they have a new price, that's the new price.
Yeah, I'm talking about these moderns that we were seeing going for bonkers prices.
Now, I'm not going to talk about hardly any moderns other than a handful, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning of the show, guys, I thought what me and Jelly talked about is we're going to talk about a little bit about the flip side, right? Stuff that you can buy right now, cheap, that is going to be going up in value within the next handful of months, and be able to reach out and get good books right now. Say you own it, say you had it up on the wall, but in, I don't know, 5 months, you're going to be able to sell it for more than what you paid for it. Right? That's what I call the flip, right? That's the flip side.
Mm-hmm.
Long term, guys, I'm talking a minimum hold of 5 years. Right? That's a minimum hold time of 5 years. That's an investment. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing, buddy?
How's it going, Kenneth?
And the first comic that we're going to talk about on the flip side is honestly one of my favorites. I have multiple copies of it. It is Amazing Spider-Man #4, the first appearance of Silk. It is a major drop in the last 12 months. I think we have bottomed it out, and I think it's going to go back up in a reasonably good way, especially with the Edge of Spider-Verse second movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with Silk getting another series. I mean, they are really trying to press some of these multicultural superheroes, and I mean, I don't blame them. I'm hopeful as hell because I enjoy them. I enjoyed reading about them. I mean, you have a Korean Spider Girl, right?
So, from a collectability standpoint, this came out in 2014, I believe.
Yep, 2014.
Yeah, 2014. So, from a collectability standpoint, I would set our base price around 2018. And for a 9.8 slab in 2018, you would have paid around $75.
Right?
In 2018.
That's about right? I mean, the pandemic had people looking through modern comics, like brand new comics right off the rack, trying to find first appearances, right?
Right, correct.
Before that, it was more of a over a couple of years, whether we see them again a few times or whether they're there again, that kind of stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for her to become a deal, which is where Jelly's kind of pulling her starting point. I mean, she's now had her own run. We've had Silk #1, had her original run, and boof.
Now so during the pandemic, we did see prices as high as the upper 300s, almost 400.
That's on a CGC 9.8, guys.
On a 9.8.
Yeah.
Our current prices have leveled out around, I'll say about 210, 220, around in there.
And you can find them out there for as low as $175.
Yeah, absolutely. This is just fair market value.
Yeah.
There's deals to be had everywhere on everything. But so, I mean, we've seen a price drop about $150.
Right? I mean,
from
half
the prime
price
back down. So from the starting price to where it is now, we've seen a growth of about 150%.
Right?
Relatively. Silk is on her...
I think they're getting ready to start her 5th series. Or 5th volume.
I think that's right. Because her last volume was not very long. Well, I mean, none of her volumes are very long.
Yeah, the 2022 run was #4. They're getting ready to start #5. I mean, they're not getting rid of this character, right? They want her to be something. And I'm all for it. But this is probably one of my favorite books right now that I would consider for the short-term flip. I think right now, the prices on them are pretty much bottomed out. Right? I don't think they're going to go any lower. And
I think it has settled just about where I think fair market will go down about another $10.
Do you really?
for fair market.
Okay.
Not saying that, because I mean, when you're looking at fair market, you're looking at an average. So you're going to have sales over, sales below. That's just your median price. So I think the median price will come down very slightly, $10. It's for a $220 book. That's
not a lot,
negligible.
So, but with everything that's going on, and Silk is going to be getting her own animated series.
Yep.
Right? On Disney Plus.
So we're going to have a lot of Spider-Verse kind of characters that are going to be good for the flips.
Oh, yeah.
So speaking of Silk, and then with Into the Spider-Verse coming out shortly, let me see if I can just pull this up. And then I will share my screen. So you can see what book I'm talking about. Let's see.
Another great one.
So this is where I would sit on if I was, let me pull up. If you want to talk about why this one.
Yeah, of course.
Would be good. Let me just pull up some sales data on it real quick. Oops, I can't do that because I'm sharing my screen.
So Ultimate Comics Spider-Man #1, right? You got your second appearance of Miles Morales, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Yes, correct. Okay.
Second appearance of Miles Morales in his own, and his first in his own series, right? I mean, all we did was get an individual meeting of him in Ultimate Fallout 4, and poof, now the dude's got his own dang series.
Yep.
Holy hell.
Anyone that has watched Into the Spider-Verse and then now coming across the Spider-Verse, there we go, finally.
They know what this is. And adult or child alike, if you get the chance, you should watch Into the Spider-Verse because it's that good.
It is that good.
For an animated movie, man, I mean, they did it well. They did it really, really well, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Okay, here we go. So that would have been this issue. Let's click on it.
This is a comic that kind of, just like Ultimate Fallout 4, came out polybagged. There's still tons and tons of them out there. And you can find, and you know, unlike Fallout 4, I mean, you can still find these in polybags.
Okay. So there is not a lot of sales data on this. For 9/8, we see prices. This came out in 2011, by the way. So this goes to show you how underappreciated Miles Morales was until the pandemic. Is really when he blew up. So we see prices. Let's see. We see raw sales, and we'll call these near mint, around the $75 to $100 range. I'll say 2020 was even these prices. Going back to 2018, you're seeing $10, $15, $20. Pandemic hits, you have this book slabbed, and you are looking at, let's see, it sold in 2021 for $2,000. So this has become a little more attainable than Ultimate Fallout 4. We see prices now going in the mid sixes, $650, $670, as recently as this year, 2023. So I think we are at a bottom for this book. And granted, this is just fair market value. There's, if you can get a copy of this in high grade for $300, go do it. But most copies you're going to see on eBay and stuff are not going to be priced to flip. You can find them, but so that's where I am with that book. And I think there is a lot.
Tons and tons and tons of upside.
Now, if you're waiting for a double in price, it might be had for this book around the time when
I'm ready to retire.
Well, when Across the Spider-Verse comes out, you may see that pop in price if it's a book you want to get rid of. If you are going for the quick flip. As a long-term investment, I do not see a lot of growth going for long-term. I see this as kind of a slow grower. I don't know if it settles in at double its price ever. I think it will go up. I just don't think it's going to go up that much. I wouldn't bet my retirement on it. But as terms of a short-term flip, I like it.
I completely agree with you. You ready for my next one?
Yeah.
Okay, my next book, I took my own advice that I was giving out a while back, and I said this is one that you guys should pick up.
Okay.
Most of the books I tell you guys you should buy, I buy. And this one has gone up 100% in value in the last month and a half. Century number 1. Last sale for a CGC 9.8, $500. I bought mine 2.5 months ago for $225.
Oh, you got the Dynamic Forces one. Do you? No, that's just the Marvel Knights.
Marvel Knights, yeah.
Okay. So 9.8 slabbed. Pre-pandemic, this was
it's about a $200 book.
$200 to $250.
Yeah.
Pre-pandemic.
Nice first appearance. You're talking about a guy that's as powerful as, World Breaker Hulk. I mean, super duper duper powerful, awesome backstory, agoraphoric superhero, agoraphobic superhero that doesn't even like to leave his house, right? I mean, come on. Oh, wait, you're right. I'm sorry. Hold on. Here we go. You ready? Okay, here we go. That's all you get. There's your wait, here we go.
Welcome to It's Thursday. Welcome to the Mad Chatter for all you William Albrights out there.
He's Jellyfingers. I'm J1. Welcome to the show.
All right. So in the height of the pandemic, we saw prices for Century in a 9.8 up to the 550s, 600s. That has actually not settled down too much.
No.
Recent sales over the last few months put this between $450 and $500.
Absolutely.
So that being said, these prices withstood the pandemic, and maybe this was a book that flew under the radar during the pandemic, which I would say it did.
I think so.
But we see that it's didn't get out of control, and we have seen nothing but growth.
And it's going to continue to grow because there is so much talk that this character is going to be coming in into the next Thor movie.
Yeah.
What's
up, Evan?
You can only hope, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Century. I have almost all of the Century books on trade paper. I have a lot of the comics too, but I take my own advice sometimes, and I buy the books that I think are going to do well. And you find shit like this, and you buy it. You buy a $225 book. You're like, that's really cheap. That's going to go big time. I mean, and then poof, a couple months later, you got a $500 book. And I don't think that's the bottom. I think that's just getting started right now. I think if you can find one right now for $400, I think you're still getting in on the cheap side.
Oh yeah,
because if he gets confirmed, goddamn.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have your, announcement pops and your first trailer pops, and
there are 3 different covers. There is a absolutely hideous San Diego Comic-Con one.
That's the best cover. Well, that one and the foil.
The foil is gorgeous, but this one right here, the Marvel Knights #1 to me, just this one right here, because the Century is literally an embodiment of the sun, the self-embodiment of the sun itself. So
I'm trying to find this in the 2005 Overstreet guide.
It should be there.
Okay, here we go.
I mean, it came out in 2000.
Century. See also New Avengers. No. #1. Yep. $3.
Yeah. It was a don't care.
Yep. $3. Crazy. All right.
But, I don't feel like this. This is not the long term, right, guys? Again, this is the flip.
This is the flip, yeah.
This is the 5-month, 7-month, max 1 year kind of time flip.
Well, why don't we get into some long term?
I have so much long term, it's not even funny. Now, I'll tell you what, guys. So what we'll do is we'll talk about long term on multiple levels. Okay, I've got all my little notes here.
Okay.
So first off, I'm going to start on the easier side. Okay, this is the easy side of it. Amazing Spider-Man, issue 100 and lower. Right? Issue 100 and lower. And in good condition.
Yep.
All Silver Age Spider-Man non-keys in an 8.0 kind of grade or better have gone up 600% in the last 10 years. I'm serious. In the last 10 years, all non-key Silver Age Spider-Man in an 8.0 quality or better have gone up a minimum of 600%.
So, William Albright, I'll do you one cheap key that you should buy right now.
Do it.
New Agents of Atlas.
Yep, that's a good one.
That's one to buy. That's one to hold. There's tons of first appearances. It is all the kind of Indonesian characters. They will make so you've got Luna Snow, you've got Sword Master, you've got Wave. What's her nuts? So New Agents of Atlas. It's a good one that I've been specking on a while. I have plenty of copies. They are going to be eventually in the MCU.
You want a better one?
Sure. Always.
And this just broke. because they want Engelbert Humperdinck as the doctor to be the one doing it. Strange Academy number 1s and 2s, get them, stack them up. They want to do the Strange Academy show, and they want to do it with the Doctor Strange we have now.
Engelbert Humperdinck. I was like, is he doing the theme song or something?
Right? I'm just joking, right? What's his real name?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
There you go. See?
Or something.
Like I said, Engelbert Humperdinck.
So
that's
let's look quick at Strange Academy and see what that's going for. So we're looking for Raws, high grade Raws right now. Fair market value is $96, $89. We'll say.
Yep.
It's currently down 16%.
Yep.
So when you see those big red numbers minus something, that's when you start looking at buying something.
I promise you right now, that's one that I'm buying.
9.8 slabs right now are $200. That is fair market. But we are seeing $300 sales, $200 sales. Oh, here's one that just sold for $67 and a 9.8. I hope that was you, William Albright.
This week, just this week, 175% increase in sales based on rumors that Marvel Studios has plans to develop a live-action Strange Academy project.
And obviously, this is a modern book. There is no reason to own anything less than a 9.8 in this.
Absolutely. And if you can afford it and you can get your hands on one, get the Opina 1 in 50, the Peach Momoko, or the Ramos 1 in 25. That would be the 3 copies of it that I would try to get my hands on. I think that's the most upside.
Actually,
I don't think Campbell's
J.
bad
Scott
either.
Campbell cover's fairly iconic.
Yeah, I don't think the J. Scott Campbell's bad either.
Yeah. But yeah. The Art Adams character spotlight one's okay.
Yeah. But that's Flip, William. You missed most of Flip.
Yeah, but he was asking for cheap stuff.
I know.
Cheap is relative, though.
No, that's true. But that's good stuff. I mean, you can find copies under $100.
Yeah. You know, you want a 100% flip on a $20 book.
Yeah.
You know, you're only looking for $20 back, so got to risk some to get the bigger books with the bigger upside.
Oh, so I talked about Silver Age Spider-Man, right? That's what I was talking about, right?
Yep, you were talking about Silver Age Spider-Man.
Non-keys,
high grade.
8.0s are better, guys. 8.0s are better. We've shown there's over 10 years, there's over a 600% increase in value over the last 10 years. And that's steady growth, right? That's not like pandemic giant growth. I mean, continued, visible, seeable growth, right? I'm not talking ASM 51 first appearance or ASM 50 first appearance of Kingpin, right? Right. I'm not talking about any of those. I'm talking about non-key Silver Age Spider-Man, right? We don't want the first of somebody. We don't want the last of somebody. We don't want the death of somebody, right? We don't want any of that, right? Now, you can, but with those books, right, the keys, you don't need to buy an 8.0 because that's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Keys, you want to stay at about a 5.0, right? Nothing below a 5.0 unless you just really want to buy it to own it, right? But if you can afford a 3.0, save a little bit longer by a 5.0. The lower tiered numbers, the 4.5 and less, they break the rule of the growth, right? Do they go up in value? Yes, but nowhere near as much as the 5.0 or better on the key side. So you got your first Hobgoblin, first Shocker, first Craven. I mean, there's so many great first appearances in the Spider-Man books. And 5.0s, right? Just you can afford a 5.0 in a lot of those you can find deals as low as $500 on some of these books, right? And take the chance on some of them. Buy them raw. Put $85 into it to have it pressed, cleaned, and graded.
And please, I don't know what everyone's problem is right now. Do not buy what looks like a 3.0 copy of a book for the same price that you'll buy a 3.0 slab.
Absolutely.
Do not do that. If it looks like a 3.0, the best you're ever going to do is, when you look at it, oh, that's a 3.5. Oh, what about a clean and a press? Probably still a 3.5.
Yeah. 3.5s are 3.5s. I mean,
Yeah.
They have so much physical damage that
Yes.
a clean and press isn't going to do a lot for it. You might get a grade bump.
Maybe.
But
you also may get worse.
Yeah.
So do not risk it with raws. Obviously, I'll talk about a book here that I think is actually a good book in investing in if you can get it at the right price. But The Incredible Hulk #2.
Oh, yeah. Great book.
Great book. Be the
It's on
first
my list.
appearance of the Green Hulk.
Yep.
Now, if you want to buy this,
Right here.
let me just look. Just do a little. So you can get a very good. So we'll say this is a 3 to a 4.5, somewhere around there. We'll say very good. Currently, if you do your due diligence, you can find them for $1,500.
Yep.
Or better.
Or better.
But you can also pay $3,000 for it. So just know your current markets. So right now that book sits as a raw, low grade raw, anywhere from $500 to $3,000. So this is one of those books where you want to get in slabbed on a lower grade. Now you can get something. I would never say go low with most slabs, but you get a good 1.5 to 2.5, somewhere around in there. You can pay $500, $600 for it and flip it.
Yeah, you might find one to steal out there on that.
There might be some good steals in there.
Yeah.
And if it's in really rough shape, but just dirty or foxing or something like that, that's when you take the chance, send it to a professional, throw $80 into it, and mail it off to CGC. That would be the only case, but I would work my way up the ladder as quickly as you could to get into the mid to high grade range.
5.0.
5.0. I like 5.0 to 6.5. I think there's a lot of value there, a lot of potential to sit on it for a short amount of time and flip it for a higher copy. Now, currently, this book in a 9.6 sells for $40,000 to $45,000, and I'm talking sells. There aren't very many sales, but this is the grade that has the most data for it, and it's pretty old data. So a 9.4 sold in 2020 for $30,000. A 9.2 sold in 2021 for $21,000. A 9.0 sold June of last year for $28,000. So as you can see, those prices for those higher grade slabs, if you can work your way up to that with trades and things like that. And J1 does a lot where he'll work big books into trades. And so his books would be valued at fair market value. And he's pretty good at talking the people that are trading to not ask fair market value for their books. So that's how you got to do it. You got to do, it's not always buying. It's buying a good book at a low price.
Yep.
Low grade. And then trading, you'll get more value out of trade usually than you will out of cash. Generally speaking, I've always gotten some of my best books through trades as opposed to just outright buying them.
Right now, Hulk 2 is on my list too.
Yeah.
Hulk 2, X-Men 2, ASM 2, Tales of Suspense 40.
Mm-hmm. Tales of Suspense
84. I'm talking about all the number 2s, all the second appearances for the main CGC superhero, main Marvel Universe superheroes.
Well, the Incredible Hulk this is a second appearance. It's almost a first appearance because it's the first Green Hulk.
It's just a different color.
But that's the color he is now.
He was gray for a while. He was yellow for a little bit too. I mean,
well, yeah, but I mean, I guess McFarlane took him back to gray too. But,
right.
So, I haven't seen the Gray Hulk in the movies yet.
Mm-mm.
We may though. But so I think there's a little extra value with it being the first Green Hulk.
First Green Hulk. I agree with you. First modernish looking Hulk. I agree.
I shouldn't say extra value. There's a little extra juice around it.
But the
Red Hulk was a big. I think Red Hulk is a big deal.
I mean, he's also, to me, he's also he's a good one for the flip side right now.
Absolutely, it is. Let me see.
I mean, everybody knows Thunderbolts is coming. Like they know it, Thunderbolts is coming, and where's that Hulk? Thunderbolt Johnson.
All right, let's see. Let's see what Hulk number 1's been doing.
Well, if you look up Hulk 2, it says right there, first appearance of Green Hulk.
No, I'm looking up Hulk 1, first red Hulk.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Thunderbolt Ross.
I want to see Thaddeus Ross. Okay, 9.8. I want to see our pre-pandemic prices. So we will go to
What, $100?
Right about $100 or less.
Yeah.
It got up to
what, 500?
600. I'm seeing 600 prices. Recent sales this year, well, I should say January, December, we're
425.
seeing we're seeing 300.
Are we?
Yeah,
Wow.
3 to 350.
That's a nice drop.
Yeah, 3 to 350. So I'm seeing 310s. We're seeing 300s, 250s. So the price did look like it bottomed out in about August of last year, down to about 300. So I don't think you're going to catch it for much cheaper. Evan, you can use Go Collect. I Go Collect to me, I don't think they pull in a lot of extraneous data.
Yes.
So you get, I don't know, the prices always look really high on Go Collect.
Well, I think all they use is Febay.
Well, and I mean that's not a bad source, but I like to pull cover price, and then Slab's GPA is pretty good. Go Collect, I've just kind of gotten away from them for Slabs. Their prices, even before the pandemic, were a little. I just couldn't see the prices they were getting. Like, I think they were just pulling the highs from eBay and leaving all the rest of the sales out.
It might have been.
So,
all right. I'm going to rattle off a bunch of names of books real quick. And these books, guys, these books are going to be fucking pricey, right? But if you can get them, and you can get them in the mid-grade range or better, this is a 5, 10, 20, 30-year investment, right? Amazing Spider-Man #1. Amazing Fantasy 15. Tales of Suspense 39. Journey into Mystery 83. X-Men 1. Fantastic Four 1. Hulk 181. Right? I mean, all of those books are what I'm going to call our blue chip, gold tier comics, right?
We'll call this our S tier.
I'm good with that.
You ain't gonna lose money on these.
None of those books right now they've taken a teeny tiny dip, right? These books were still affected by the drop, right? Unlike their Golden Age counterpart first appearances, the Silver Age did drop a little, okay? But they have they have gone up in value year after year after year for 20 plus years, showing continued growth, continued interest, sales going above and beyond where they were the year prior and the year before that and the year before that, over and over and over and over again. There's nothing to say right now, right, that in 30 years, right, X-Men 1 high grades, Fantastic Four 1 high grades, won't be $1 million books. I mean,
yeah,
Amazing Fantasy 15.
We just talked about, or Jay and I were just talking about Hugh Jackman doing a signing, and it was atrocious to me thinking about his name on a Hulk 180 or Hulk 181.
They'll be there, though.
They will be there, but you want to spend $500 to ruin a book? That's how you do it. Because putting $500 into that book is not going to get you $500 of value out.
In 50 years, are people going to know who Hugh Jackman was?
Yeah. I mean, they will.
But
But are they going to care?
Not.
He just played the character on a,
right.
you know, I mean, it would be like having a Hulk #1 and having Lou Ferrigno sign it.
Yeah.
While
And Mark Ruffalo and Edward Norton.
Yeah. While cool, I guess, it just ruins the book to have an actor sign it. I mean, and I'm not talking about like those kind of books for quick flips, because it makes sense for a quick flip on a modern book. But when you're holding a piece of history that's 50, 60 years old, you don't want to have some Johnny come lately sign it, you know, that has nothing to do with the history of the character except 100%. Playing it on TV. Yeah, exactly. 50 years, there'll be 8 other actors that play Wolverine. 100%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I saw that the other day. He was signing them, and I'm like, oh, boy.
The only ones that I would put his name on are the movie variant where Hugh Jackman's on the cover.
Oh, 100%. That makes 100% sense.
Same thing with the Iron Man ones with the Tony Stark actor, Robert Downey Jr. I mean,
yeah, Wesley Snipes
on the Blade, 100%, right?
Absolutely. That will actually improve the price of the book.
Yeah, dude, extremely. So those books that I just listed off, guys, if you've got the money to put away, right, and I'm not saying buy to sell it, right? I'm talking about literally an investment. You purchase the book and the grade appropriate that you can find it at. You buy it for just below fair market value, and then you guys go put it in.
And
you put it in a safety deposit box at your bank.
Yeah, this is something when you're ready to retire.
Yeah.
Or when you are ready to leave something to your family, is when you pull these books out and you go to Heritage and you say, I have these books. I need them to be auctioned.
It's true. Now, so the tier below that, guys, this is going to be the bronze tier of comics, but this is my silver level of books. In Jelly's consideration, with that being the S class, this would be the A class.
Correct.
We're talking Tombs of Dracula 10, Marvel Spotlight 5, Werewolf by Night 32, ASM 129.
So these are your, what I would consider B tier characters.
Yeah.
First appearances.
Absolutely. And these guys, all of these books, again, just like their gold tier counterparts, have gone up almost 1,000% over the last 10 years. I'm not lying.
Well, let's just do an ASM 129. Let me just
now this ASM 129, the silver, the copper age books, the silver tier as I'm calling it, they have gone up over 600% in the last 10 years.
Let me see how far back I can go. We'll do a 9.8. I can go back 15 years. Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah. Just go back 10 years.
All right. So we see a sale. Let's average these out. These are 6 months apart. $3,500 in a 9.8.
And that was 10 years ago?
We'll say, 10 years ago. $3,500. Average. Okay. There's 2 sales I have data on. We'll say over that year. Actually, we'll say over that year, about $4,000. 2012, 2013, we'll say about $4,000. So this year, the last 2 sales I have for last month and this month are $25,200. Both of them in a 9.8. So
That's 1,000% increase.
That's
oh my God.
1,000% increase over 10 years. And that's on a multi-$1,000 investment.
Yeah.
So now you can kind of see where you're like, damn, $2,500 to get into something, or $3,500 to get into something. Like, oh boy, that's a lot of money. But it's like, well, yeah, now you could be sitting on, 100 times that.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Now,
So,
guys, seriously, you don't have to buy the 9/8. Look at the 5/0s.
let's see what a 5.0 is for this.
So, there you go. Goodness, jelly. I thought
Currently at about 1,500.
Right?
Say.
And how much was a 5.0 10 years ago?
A 5.0, as far as I can go back, is 2016. About
So
450.
6 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And it's going up.
450.
So in 6
so it'd
years,
be over 300%.
yeah. 6 years, 300%.
So
Find yourself a stock that does that.
So yeah, right. So your $450 investment is now worth $1,500.
Yeah.
So
they're going to keep doing it, guys. I mean, all of these books, I'm telling you, right? You don't have to buy the 9/8. It's just that the 9/8 have the most solid track record for growth. That's just the truth, right? But as the 9/8 grow, so do the 5.0s, so do the 2.5s. You know what I'm saying?
Now, some of the things that I want people to be cognizant of when they are collecting and things like that. A lot of people like to speculate, well, what's going to be worth, like, so all those specs books you bought over the last 5-10 years, let's say they're double what they were worth to begin with. Let's say you spent $200 on comics and now you've got $400 worth of comics.
Woo!
Well, if those aren't in your PC and something that you like need to have, why are you not flipping those into a 5.0 copy of ASM 129?
Right?
Why are you not flipping this into a, what did you call this, your bronze tier?
This is my bronze age. This is my silver tier. This is my silver tier.
Silver tier, bronze age.
Yep.
So why are you not flipping those books for a, not, I mean, even a blue chip book, get a low grade blue chip book. It's
you can get yourself a 1.5 to a 1.8 to a 2.0. I mean, you can get yourself a 0.5 X-Men 1 for a couple grand.
And trust me, it ain't going down.
They aren't. No, they won't go down. That's what you guys. That's the collecting and investing part, right? If you sell whatsoever, right? This is where you make your hobby pay for itself, right? You do the flips, you do the trades, you work your way into the books that you want in your personal collection, right? That are going to do nothing but go up in value, period. I mean, seriously. Werewolf by Night 32 was one of the books I talked about, guy. I mean, it's in my first appearance of Ghost Rider, first appearance of Punisher, first appearance of Blade, first appearance of Moon Knight, and first appearance of Wolverine. Those 5 books, all right there, have outdone the Dow Jones, have outdone Apple, have outdone Amazon for the last 10 years. I mean, if you put $10,000 into Amazon 10 years ago, guess fucking what? You're a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
If you put $10,000 into Hulk 181s 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
you're more of a millionaire.
More of a millionaire. Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. That's what you do. You buy your grade, you sit on it for a minute, let it appreciate, you flip it for the higher grade.
It's true.
You keep flipping it until you get to a grade that you are satisfied with, which for most people, when you're talking about Silver Age keys and things like that, you get anywhere near a 9. That's great.
5 figures plus, right?
Yeah.
But guys, you can my silver tier, it's not as low as we go, guys. So let's talk about my bronze tier.
Mm-hmm.
Now, honest to goodness, guys, all of you guys should be able to afford my bronze tier books. Every one of you out there can afford my bronze tier books in some sort of grade. I swear to you. Because if you can buy a fucking new comic or dig through a dollar box long enough, you might find some of these fucking books.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's because comic shop owners are lazy and they don't always pull everything out. But my bronze level, right, of my investment books are, don't laugh at these guys, right? X-Force 2, Deadpool #1, Punisher #1, the limited series, right? ASM 135, Ghost Rider #1, Blade #1.
Oh, here I can put up your. Oh no, wait, I don't have Blade #1.
You didn't have. Oh, yeah. You got the X-Force 2 data?
I do. Let me grab that.
X-Force 2, guys. X-Force 2 has legitimately shown almost 1,000% growth in a 9.8 newsstand. And that's your second appearance of Deadpool. And
first appearance of Weapon X.
Yeah. And it's going to continue to go up more and more.
So we are only going to look at 9.8s. And we're going to look at direct edition because that's going to be your most obtainable.
100%. Go ahead.
So let's see. We'll go back to 2015 on this, and we're looking about $50. 2015.
X-Force 2?
X-Force 2.
In a 9.8.
In a 9.8.
Second appearance of a superhero that most people would love to have the first appearance of.
So now in a 9.8, now we were seeing sales during the pandemic of $160, 140, 100, all over the place. It has settled down now to about $75. So over the last 8 years, it's had a 50% increase. So that's good growth.
That's a solid growth. And here's the thing. How much was it for a 9.8 again?
$50.
Right. They're out there.
Yeah.
Second appearance of a freaking Marvel MCU character that fucking everybody loves because, They love the asshole.
What was that? Let me just
Ryan Reynolds made him. Oh my God.
What's that? My slabs. Let me just search real quick. See if there's.
All right. Well, while you do that, I'm going to talk about Blade #1 because I know what you're going to do. You're good.
Yep.
Blade #1 is the first solo run from Blade, right? I mean, you can buy a 9.8 of his slab for $100.
Are you talking about the Vampire Hunter or the like 2004 one or whatever?
The original one. The first solo Blade.
Let's see if I can just. I pulled up the. When I was making my slides, I'll show you. If it was one of these. Was it one of these?
Yep, that's it right there.
Which one?
The one in the background.
Okay, the Vampire Hunter. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
So that book right there, first solo titled series featuring Blade. A CGC 9.8 right now, you can find them for around $350. And you're talking about a comic that's not that old, right?
Mm-mm.
Came out in 1994. You can find them for, like I said, around $300. You can find raw near mint copies for as low as $50. You never know. I mean, buy up a bunch that look really clean, send them in, get yourself a handful of 9.6s, 9.4s, 9.8s, and sell them. And
the current trend on this book is down 1%. So when a book gets that where it's fluctuating up or down 1% over a certain time period, it tells me it is it's level and it's at a good place to buy. Now, when you see your big minus 50s or your plus 50s and stuff like that, it's got to make you think what's going on in the climate that it's making those changes. So has there just been an announcement? Did somebody just step in a pile of poo and say the N-word or something? Something like that, where it's like, what happened to make this fluctuate so hard? And why is it trending that way? And if it's minus 50%, is it a good time to buy? Or is it stay away from it and let it go down even further? So let's see. Right now, looking at Blade, let's do a 9.8 since it's 90. So this is a $50 book.
10 years ago.
Oh, not even.
Yeah.
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
So
and now $300.
Now $300.
600% increase.
So it's seen a 600 increase. As far as it is right now, we are not seeing a large increase. So that's telling me the price has not adjusted to any Blade news or anything like that. So I would say now's a good time if this is a book that you. Now, I don't know that I would buy this for long-term holding.
I would.
Okay.
First solo series, I think. So like our bronze, our silver tier characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blade,
sure.
Ghost Rider, Punisher, Wolverine. Those guys are not going anywhere.
Sure.
They will continue to go up over and over and over again for the foreseeable future. I'm talking, we got to have some kind of cataclysmic event that happens or a fucking economic fallout that, we're all fucked then anyways.
Mm-hmm.
you'll be ripping out Hulk 181 pages for toilet paper, okay? But these books, the first appearances, just like their first solo series, right? All those first solo series, dude, those things are money.
Sure. Now I don't see this as a buy one book, buy one Blade the Vampire Hunter, get it slabbed 9.8 and throw it in the vault.
Yeah, that's all.
Well, I'm saying don't just buy one.
Oh, okay.
Because you throw it in the vault 20 years from now, it's worth $2,000, $1,500, and then you ain't retiring on that. Buy 15 of them, buy 20 of them if you can find them.
Yeah. I've got a friend that just got 35 copies of Spawn #1 back from the Todd McFarlane signing.
Damn, a lot of money to put in this, having a book signed and slabbed.
All of his #1 direct editions were signed T. McFarlane. All of his newsstands were signed Todd McFarlane.
Mm-hmm.
And he had one Mexican edition, and he signed it El Tado McFarlano.
That's awesome.
Right?
That is really cool. El Tado El McFarlano. That's hysterical.
I'm telling you.
All right.
I was going to say, the next level, right? This is my one that Jelly has some good artwork for and some pictures of. This is my next level of books. None of these books that he's getting ready to show you have dropped during the drop. None of them. If they did, it was like minuscule. And I know we've talked about Marvel this whole time, but now we need to show DC some love too.
Mm-hmm.
Because these books right here are books that I would be buying right effing now.
So I tried to grab my favorite Neil Adams covers from Batman, Detective. He's got a lot of like Action Comics, good ones and stuff like that, but his best stuff was definitely Batman and Detective.
Yes. Batman comics. He did a lot of first appearances, first Silver Age appearance, second appearance or whatever for the Batman and the Detective series. And his books, these here specifically, Batman 251, 234, 233, 244, Detective Comics 400, 405, 411. I mean, there's others up there, right?
Yeah.
Those books right there. These did not drop in value whatsoever. Fucking ASM #1. Amazing Fantasy 15 went down in value some this time, which is extremely fucking rare. It didn't drop a ton, but it did drop some. But these books right here, nonstop, continuous growth over the last 10 to 20 years. I mean, nonstop, continuous growth. You'd buy these books right now, get them in 8.0s, put them away for freaking 10 years. You would probably triple, quadruple your money. I mean, what do you think, Jelly?
Oh, easily. Yeah. So Neil Adams is not been gone long enough to have that kind of, he was already kind of a living legend.
Yep.
But he has not really gone to legendary status now. He hasn't quite hit like the Kirby kind of status, but it's coming. It's definitely coming. And I've got my DC books that I think are ripe for the picking. I would go for let's see if I can share.
Ooh, I'm curious.
I'll give you a good one. Let me just pull up the data real quick. All right, let's pull this up. Let's see, how do you make it bigger? That's what she said. That way. Oh, there we go. Okay. Share that. Let me take off the that. Share screen. All right. For DC, 1959, first appearance of Supergirl. So prices right now, and I think this is very undervalued. So the most common slab is a 3.5. So that's where you're going to find your most common is a 3.5. So we'll just look at that as a starting point for most people. So let's go back pre-pandemic. We'll go back to, we'll say $1,200 in 2015. $1,200 would have got you this book. Or we'll go back 2014, even better. 2014, $700 would have gotten you this book. It's now worth, last sold in December for $1,800. That's just in a 3.5. Now, this is another one of those books, you work your way up and you get up into the higher grades and you're talking, even at an 8.5, it's an $18,000 book currently. So there is, for a first appearance of a super character, Supergirl, been around forever, I think this is very undervalued at the current market price of basically $1,800. Now, that being said, I think this is a long-term hold. I think once DC starts making its moves, brings back DC to the collector market, the people that realize that DC is quality, it does have good stories, that this is going to get your steady growth 20, 30 years. And I think you're looking at, I'm going to say, probably 50% a year growth, probably to a total of about 600% over the next 10 years.
Dude, I'll put money on it right now. In 20 years, that's going to be a $20,000 book.
Oh yeah, I mean 20 years, yeah, absolutely. So that's like these kind of books like this. You get in low grade, you make a couple quick flips, you move your way up, and then you sit on it for a long time.
Yeah. 2 books that I picked up recently, guys, that are in my silver tier of DC Comics, right, is Forever People #1 and New Gods #1. Right?
Well, I'll
Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
Jack Kirby, Fourth World goodness. And you can't sleep on these. These are books that I do believe will do nothing but continue to go up in value. Again, the next 10 to 20 years. I mean, these came out in 1971, 1 year after the end of the Silver Age. They're 15 centers. I mean, there's not millions of them out there, unlike the 90s books. Those are two books that 9/8 were out of my reach, right? But I was able to find 9/6s for a steal. And they're still out there.
Another book that I have been picking up for years. And it's something that I've been collecting multiples of. Still do. Still buying them.
Yeah.
A Daredevil #7. First appearance of the red costume.
Absolutely.
Now, you used to be able to pull that, and this is 20 years ago. They would have silver bins, just garbage stuff. You could pull that. You could pull those in mid-grade, low grade, out of there. $2-3 consistently. Now, the most common grade is a 7.5 slabbed. Now, let's say 10 years ago, you could have bought that book for $120 slabbed in a 7.5. Now, over the last year, has been selling for about $1,100. And so you're looking at over 10 years, again, 1,000% increase. And this book will continue to go up. And you get a couple 7.5s, you sell those, all of a sudden you can afford a 9.
Absolutely.
You get a couple 9s. All of a sudden, you've got a 9.6 that's worth $36,000. So it's just, you might not like, I don't know if I can flip a 7 into a 9.6. Well, of course you can't. But you can flip 5 of them, maybe. That's where you got to think. You got to think on a bigger scale when you're flipping. It's not just, I can afford a 6. Well, I can afford a 6, and then maybe next month I can afford another 6. Maybe the month after that I can afford another 6. Now I've got 3 6s that have all appreciated in value, and I can flip for maybe a 7.5 or maybe an 8 at that point. And now I've got 1 8. Maybe I go back down to, a 6 and I buy another 6. Then the next month I buy another 6. The next month I buy another 6. And I flip them into an 8. Now I've got 2 8s. Now I can get an 8.5 or a 9 with those books. It's not just buying one book and trying to flip it all the way up. It's buying multiples over time. Yeah, because can you flip that book for $100? Does that get you up to next year? Probably not. So you might have to flip that book 10 times to get you up to the next year. So I'm just telling you how I do it. That's how I climb the ladder for slabs.
Oh, I hear you, dude. I hear you.
Because I will decide I need a slab in a certain grade. And then I just go down the list. I look at what's affordable for me. I buy one, and this is if I'm just doing it aside from all my other books. I don't want to give any other books away to get to this grade. I get one at low grade, get another one at low grade, get another one at low grade. And then I flip them up. But what else you got on your little sticky notes?
This is my favorite one. This is my favorite one. This one right here. Okay. This is my buy it no matter what kind of condition it's in. If it's a 1.0, buy it. As long as the cover is there. It doesn't need to be attached. If you have the cover, right? Buy it.
Evan, you'll get the most value out of 7.5 right now for flipping.
Absolutely. Okay. Everybody knows what Marvel Comics is. The company itself. Before Marvel Comics was referred to as Atlas Comics. Prior to Atlas Comics, in the 40s, it was referred to as Timely. Now, these are comics that you are not going to find in comic book stores too often.
You're not going to find
these.
Period.
These are comics that you're going to find if you find them. You're going to find these in estate sales.
Yeah. I'll say it's going to be
in
some
old people's houses where
yeah.
their families don't want their stuff and they're just selling all their stuff, right? These books right here are thousands of dollars in a 1.5.
So these are going to be like your 1939 to
39
51.
to 45. Yeah, 50. There's some of them in the 51s.
Yeah.
So Timely Comics, anything that's related to World War II. If it has, don't please, nobody hate me, okay? Nobody, I'm not saying anything racist, okay? This is the shit that's on the books, okay? Any Nazis on there? Any Japanese, especially if it says those Japs or certain things like that. Like actually has those phrases on the comics. Anything with Hitler on it. Anything with Mussolini on it, right? Those right there in 0.5s with detached covers, right, are $2,000 to $3,000. If you find them out there, and they're out there, right? They're out there in these old people's houses, right? They've been sitting in boxes, and you find them when when families are cleaning out their houses, and they don't know what the fuck these are, and they don't care what they are. To them, it's trash, and they're selling it. It's just going to go in the estate sale, right? I'm being dead serious. Cat 60 recently was given a Brave and the Bold number 28.
Mm-hmm.
It was about a 0.5 to a 1.0. Right? Not quite as old. Right? But that's the first appearance of the goddamn Justice League.
Which was also on my list.
It's a $1,000 book. In that grade.
Mm-hmm.
And Cat couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Brave and the Bold 28 and Justice League number 1.
Yep.
And Justice League Dark.
Yep.
Number 1 were all on my list of undervalued.
So the 3 superhero covers that you want, the 3 superheroes that you want on the covers for the Timelies are Submariner, Captain America, Human Torch. Again,
but not the Human Torch because Human Torch sucks.
I know, but any of those, again, you're still talking $2,500 plus for a 1.0. Right? So you go to these old neighborhoods, right? And you watch for yard sales and you watch for estate sales. And man, you can make a killing.
Yeah, and it's especially if you're in the New York area, because there were so many newsstands.
Yeah.
So you're most likely to find them up there.
We we have two very old, wealthy neighborhoods here where I live.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to do the whole buy and sell stuff, right? Not just comics.
Mm-hmm.
And I would buy antiques and furniture and I mean whatever.
Sure.
And one of the what's it called, honey? She's asleep. She's asleep. I can't remember the name of the subdivision. But there's a neighborhood, right? And
Worthington Heights.
Well, it's something like that, right? But they're all aging out and they're dying, right? And they're every, I mean, you honest to goodness, like every 2 to 3 weeks, there's an estate sale in those in that neighborhood, and you're getting hard rock maple handmade furniture for that's valued at $10,000 for $700 to $800, right? Because people aren't taking the time to do what they need to do, and they don't know any better, right? They're like, oh, it's a nice set of table and chairs here, right?
Absolutely,
nice, good, solid wood. Trust me, I've got a set in my kitchen right now. But those older neighborhood, Kip D, exactly. Mary Swap Meet, yeah. Kip D's from here. He knows Mary Swap Meet. Kip, what neighborhood am I talking about, man? The wealthy old neighborhood downtown, outside of the Paseo district. I can't remember the name of it. I mean, it's nothing but ginormous houses, but they're older and anyways. That's where you go. You go to those kinds of areas, those kinds of places, and that's where you find this stuff.
Yes.
I mean, this is the stuff that you stumble across, that you find out of nowhere, right? That you have this old man that's 80 years old and he has a box of comics that he's had since he was a child that he wants to sell.
Well, I mean, I can't tell you how many people walk by like gold keys with like Disney on them.
Nichols Hills, thank you, Kip.
That will just walk past a, Scrooge McDuck and not realize it's the first appearance of Scrooge McDuck in comics or something
and it's a $10,000 comic.
Yeah. It's even shop owners you will see will just be like, it's just these crappy gold keys, like they're all reprints and blah, blah, blah. And if you spend your time looking at those, I mean, granted, they're not the most enticing things, but, exactly. You would look at that and be like, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I mean, I remember that story.
Right?
In
a high grade, this is a $3,500 comic.
Yeah.
In this grade right here, it's about $150 book.
Yep.
And for some reason, I can't sell it for $50, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I've already decided I'm just going to put it on goddamn Pixabay. But anyways, like this stuff, guys, do your due diligence, do your research, do your history, because knowing that kind of stuff is amazing.
Well, and honestly, those are the things that kind of fly under the radar that you can scoop up and flip. That are easier to find. You can get better deals on because you know what it is. Somebody can't sell it, and then, yeah.
Rip Hunter, Time Master, first appearance of Rip Hunter, the Time Master, and the Time Masters, dude. I mean, this is in this condition about $150 book, but you've got to have you've got to have the right group, you know?
Yeah. Right audience.
Right audience. You bought a bunch of Atlas comics the other day? Hell yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Fuck yeah, Kip. I mean, honestly, that's good.
Yeah. So I don't know. You got anything else, man?
Last but not least, these are the this is my no shit, you should just buy one.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
This is my no shit, you should just buy one. I think everybody should have one in their collection, and I mean, it's pretty rare. But I mean, in our community, it's not really too terribly hard to find. But to me, I don't have a good reason why everybody shouldn't have one. And that's Cover of Darkness.
Shameless.
Cover of Darkness, #1. Gorkum Demir amazingness.
Actually,
don't know if you know it, but this has actually been turned into a game now. Did you know that, Jelly?
I did.
This is now a game. And it's going to come up for another run and another series. The author, I've talked to him personally. So you need to get these while you still can, because they're pretty rare.
Well, I just see.
And
I
if
got
you're
all my
feeling
trades.
really frisky,
I just got my trade of Cover of Darkness.
you could get the limited, numbered, hand sketched, remarked, metal, 9/8. Goodness, oh my! See, shameless plugs, guys. I'm not against it.
Yeah,
because myself and Jellyfingers Comics, this is ours, and we might have a few of these left.
So I'll tell you what, I just love Universal Monsters so much.
True.
And I love Gorkum's art. That it just seemed like a no-brainer to have
Absolutely.
him do it. And I just love it.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. So any Universal Monster fans, you can get you one.
I know you do, Lucian. I know you do, brother.
All right.
That was a shameless plug. You're welcome. By the way, people, if you'd like to reach out to J1A Bob Comics or Jellyfingers Comics and get your own copy of Cover of Darkness from Source Point Press, artwork by Gorkum Demir, feel free to reach out to either of us. We both have copies on hand and can mail them out accordingly.
But they're going to be expensive once the game hits.
Dude, I mean, you never know. He is doing a volume 2, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing a volume 2. The game's out. I mean, it's kind of funny.
Wow, card game.
Yeah. I wasn't lying.
It's on Kickstarter right now.
I'm not lying. If I'm lying, I'm dying.
Well, now I wonder what the... Let's see the cards.
So I talked to him, right?
Oh, they look cool.
Told him we did that you and I did an exclusive of his comic, and he's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Did you not see the Universal Monsters one?" And he's like, "No." and I sent him the artwork for it. He's like, "That's amazing." He's like, "That's so badass." I'm like, "How did you not know that somebody did an exclusive of your book?"
Yeah.
Isn't that
Especially because it's Source Point, because we were probably the only person that did a.
We were the only one there was.
Yeah, yeah, which is awesome. But yeah, I mean, we got to send him one.
That's my thoughts.
Yeah, we should send him one. Get him. Yeah, I'll send him one. I'll message him on IG.
Yep.
Send him one.
Y'all,
all right.
It was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Did you guys learn anything? Did you find out anything? Like, nothing I told you to buy will lose you money in the long run. I promise you. Again, unless there's an economic collapse or World War III, right? These fucking books that we talked about will go up in value, and they are investment books.
I'll tell you what, if anybody, Lucian, Kip D, David Reese, Evan, if anybody else wants to make a list, and then we'll talk, they can present them to us during the show next week, and we can talk about them.
Ooh, next week, are we going to have the...
Oh, yes. Yes, we shall.
Did you download it yet? If you did not, you need to.
I have not.
All right.
But
don't forget to before the...
I'll just do it right now.
Yeah, don't forget to get it before it goes away.
Yes. Right now. Where is it? There it is.
Now, that's not the opposite side. That's only just the side A.
Okay. All right. Downloading now.
And for those of you that don't know, me and Jellyfingers will be going on our honeymoon in 29 hours. 29 days, 14 hours, and 43 minutes. We'll be setting off to the Caribbean together.
There'll be some girls there, too.
Yeah, that's what we'll say. When we look at I'll tell you guys right now, if you look at the room listings, it's me and him in one room and the girls in another room.
I hope we got a single bed.
Oh, we do. It's two singles pushed together.
Brings new plug and play.
Oh, shit.
I should buy Avengers, Terminatrix 1 for $2 and put them under the bed, and in 20 years, sell them for $1.
You added that $1 yourself. I don't believe that one.
Well, we'll see. The old Terminatrix.
I'm not against that one. I'm really not.
No, I don't. Avengers #1 was on my list as undervalued. So next week we'll come to a consensus.
Did somebody just buy that last Century 9.8? Another one just sold. Who bought it? Who bought it?
They're going hot. They're going like hotcakes.
I'm telling you, that's my buy. That's my buy right now.
I would say that if I could, I would say that's the lock of the week as far as appreciation potential.
Yep. I do not disagree with you at all.
Yep. All right. Well, shall we shut her down for tonight?
Well,
leave something for next week.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And
All
then you
right.
have to stay behind with me for a few minutes.
I'll just call you.
Well, it was going to be easier with the video.
I will video call you.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, have a good night. Thanks for making this another good episode. If anybody wants to bring any information next week or do their little list, we'll talk about it. We'll go over the numbers. We'll run it. We'll run it through the old Jelly J1 pepper mill. See what comes out the other side. So, other than that, have a good night.